Joining me now in the studio, welcome to Kin Women once again on this Tuesday morning. Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
It's a great morning.
Penny and Karina.
Yeah, it's great. And the sunshine's coming in the window. Beating in.
How good is that in Perth? Isn't it just beautiful?
It's beautiful.
It was a chilly night.
Chilly night. You went for a walk this morning, Karina.
I did.
What time was that?
6:30 a.m.
Ooh, what do you
nice
reckon?
pink hues in the sky.
Oh,
Amazing.
What do you reckon the temperature was when you were going for a walk?
I'm going to go with 12.
12?
degrees.
You reckon it was
Yeah.
that warm? Oh, no, it might
I
have
don't
been a bit
know,
cooler
maybe
than that.
cooler than
Get
that.
out the bomb.
Look, it felt like 5. I just didn't want to sound like a sissy.
It was cold. Now, Penny, last week we had a late message come in from David. Just a bit of a recap on what we spoke about last Tuesday morning.
Yeah, we talked about letting go, and I told my story of being made redundant 7 years ago and the impact that had on me. And yeah, it's a big deal, and it's a common thing.
Yeah.
It's a common thing in our state and our country, and all I can say is it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And so what do we need to be prepared for that, and what do we need to put around us during
Navigate
times
it well.
like that? Yeah.
Now, with us this morning on the line is David. Good morning, David from Como, and welcome. Nice to have you on this morning.
Yes, good morning there. Good morning, ladies.
Hello.
Good morning.
Now, David, if you can just run through, you sent a message in after we had finished last Tuesday morning. Can you just share a little bit about your situation there, David?
Yeah, just glossing over quickly. So in 2013, I lost my main job as a truck driver, and I kept on going with cleaning and working at Coles. I had an injury at that job. I got further injuries in 2014 at Coles when I was working with them, and further down the track I was put on light duties, and then told that within a year I was let go. I've been there for 10 years. I've been fighting for workers' compensation since 2014, and it's still ongoing. So it's pretty hard to put that sort of thing behind you when it's still ongoing. And the thing is, when you fighting for workers' compensation, you can't actually get a job anywhere else. So it hangs over you for the whole time. So what I did is got some bit of self-employment going. I had a spare credit card and went out and bought a car and started working for Uber. But now that's coming to an end because the car's getting a bit old. I've only got till the 31st of December. I might be able to get a new car, and Uber's sort of taken a big dive with work anyway, so I'm looking for something else now.
David, can you tell us a little bit about the sort of how you were feeling through that time, not so much on the workers' comp, but you personally with your depression and things like that?
Well, yeah, because that wasn't the only thing that was going on. There was a lot of depression happening because everything was happening at once. Not only did I have the workers' comp and losing their jobs and etc. My grandmother got dementia. There was a court case over that. My parents, I was her carer. They did some things that weren't very good. They took her away behind my back, and it was all family, messy family stuff there. So there was a fight in the court for her guardianship and her administration, and there was the AAT. They wanted to give me a false debt. Fought their money, went to the last court case in December last year for their last appeal. So that's been going on since 2015. Another court case with a traffic infringement. I had to go, so we're doing a lot of court cases in that time, and it's just horrendous. And having to deal with the lawyer for the workers' comp, and also going to different doctors because there's like $300 gap fees, $200 gap fees while you're on Centrelink, and trying to just do casual work. And basically, doing all that was like a full-time job, getting the court stuff ready, submissions, etc. So it was just, mind-blowing having to do all that.
Tough time there,
Yeah.
David.
Confluence of challenges, like all coming together at once, and you just kind of go, gosh, I really feel for David. It's been obviously a very difficult time, like hugely difficult.
Yeah, look, we'll take a break. We'll come back and keen to ask, bit of a tough time with family and support. We'll come back and chat about that shortly. My guest in the studio this morning is Kin Women. I've got Penny and Karina. You are on 98.5. Nice to have your company this morning. On 98.5, this is Mornings with Mike. Good morning, and Kin Women are in the studio with me, Penny and Karina, this morning. It's nice to have you in.
It's great to be here.
Haven't seen you for a while, Karina. It's good to have you back.
You, Mike.
Oh, thanks. Great call from David. Having a bit of a tough time, isn't he, David?
Oh, he's having more than a tough time. That's a
Yeah.
big time, and it seems to be have gone on a long time. And I was thinking about because my husband helps men, and he did this great big era when he actually would help people who were men, particularly who were long-term unemployed.
Yeah, well.
And from as a psychologist coming alongside them. And the one thing that he used to say about the men, because we're talking about men here, I guess, a little bit as Kin Women, but I'm putting my husband's hat on, is that he said, once a man actually can come along on a one-on-one situation and come a few times, they will actually find the hugest benefit is actually you just sitting with someone who's prepared to listen to you, prepared to acknowledge you, see you.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's huge, and you just need to keep turning up.
Yeah, that's good.
Because once you kind of get that trust, that bond, I just think that's really important. I mean, that's one way of getting support during times like that.
Well, I think whether you're a man or a woman, I think it's this, being seen and being heard in that space of pain, and really being seen and heard.
Yeah.
Like someone actually acknowleding your pain.
With no judgment.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you, though? I mean, speaking to David, he's caught up in a lot of dealing with a lot of legal issues with his workers' comp and lawyers, and so his mind's so focused on what's not going so well.
Yeah.
How do you even begin to start to step out in that,
gosh.
and to on that road to recovery?
Well, I'm not the psychologist, so I guess that's the thing we need to remember. That's why people who are in that real turmoil of confluence actually need to go and see someone. But one of the things that has helped me when I've gone through hardship is that at some point you actually need to see things differently, and one of the best ways to see things differently is to think differently. Actually, I'm in a hole right now. It's really dark, but I can see a little light at the end of the tunnel. I've been in holes before. I'll come out again. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually just reframing your thinking.
Well, and what you're talking about as well, if I'm hearing it, is the power of your words as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I think when you start speaking differently, it allows you to see differently as well, and I think that's a powerful thing. Not that that's easy, and sometimes you actually feel, you're faking it until you make it. Like, you're speaking these things over your life, knowing you don't quite believe it yet, but also taking that one day at a time.
And friends help with that.
Yeah, totally.
So that's why it's really important to have those kind of network and fostering of friends.
Which David did mention. He said he did some
so good.
Support.
Friends who are just going to remind you, you know what, you're going to come through this.
Yeah.
You've come through hard times before, and you can almost sing the song that you can't sing right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, a good place for David to head to would be Men's Shed.
Oh,
they do some fantastic things. So, David, get in touch with the Men's Shed. There's loads of them around the place. I think the one in Canning Vale, they do some amazing things down there. Great way to
go see your GP too. Your GP can connect you to some awesome people.
Yeah. We'll take a break. We'll come back and talk some more. Join the conversation this morning. Give us a call, 9313 0985. Did you ever have to step out and get support? And I'm sure you got some encouraging words for David and others listening this morning. Give us a call, 9313 0985. Right, 98.5, this is Mornings with Mike. Nice to have your company this morning. Kin Women are in the studio, Penny and Karina this morning. I nearly had a blank then on your name, Karina. Paul, good morning. Welcome to the show this morning. You've got some advice for you. You're going to join the conversation this morning.
Yes, good morning. The best advice I can give from my personal experience is don't be ashamed and don't be afraid to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. It's the best thing you can do.
Absolutely. In fact, there's immense strength in that. It's not a weakness. And so for a guy, that's acknowledging, your strength in that. I think it's fantastic.
How did you go, Paul? Did you've been in that situation where you've had to step out and ask for help?
Yeah, unfortunately, I nearly waited too late. I had a massive breakdown and tried to bury it, and then had a suicide attempt. And it wasn't until then I knew exactly how much help is around there.
Wow.
You know, even just talking to your mate or talking to someone at church, it helps.
Yeah.
Well, good on you, Paul. Yeah, I'm so glad we're here talking to you this morning, mate. Thank you for encouraging
and I think,
David this morning.
Yeah, I think the point that he's made is actually there is a lot of support out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, don't think there isn't.
Yeah.
So, yes, we've got our mates, but actually there's a lot of professional support out there.
Yeah, and I think the point is as well, if you get disappointed because someone didn't give you the support that you needed, not to let that disappointment stop you from searching it out again.
Keep trying. Seek.
Yeah.
Seek and you'll find.
Good on you, Paul. Also, good morning and welcome to the show, Alida. Good morning. Are you there? No, I don't think we've got a letter. We shall. We'll take a break. We've got some heaps of calls coming through. We'll take a break and we'll come back shortly. Give us a call this morning, 9313 0985.
Perth's 98.5.
We're on 98.5. This is Mornings with Mike. Good morning. Ken Wimmer in the studio with me, Karina and Penny this morning. And a great call from Paul there. Good on you, Paul. Just a reminder, Lifeline is available 24/7. They do some amazing work. 13 11 14. And good morning, Gerhard. Nice to talk to you this morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, mate, I was just listening to David's call this morning and listening to his story, I could hear a lot of similarities between his story and mine. And I was just thinking that I should give a call and see if I can get a hold of the man or get him to give me a call because I think I might be able to help him out in one or two ways that he's struggling at the moment.
You are a champion, Gerhard. What we'll do, I'll put you back on hold, mate, and we will pass on your details to David this morning. That is so good, mate. Really appreciate you giving us a call this morning. Good on you, buddy. How good is that?
Oh, community.
So good. Just love that.
You can find community.
Absolutely.
That's what we were talking about. It can be found.
Can be found. And you might need to knock on a few doors to actually find a good fit.
Indeed. Good morning, Margaret. Nice to have you on this morning.
Hi, morning. Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, great. What would you like to say this morning?
I didn't hear the entire story, but the producer filled me in about what was happening with David, and she said my story sounds similar. So I've been struggling with anxiety and depression for a really long time. And just one day at my home group, I just kind of was so full of fear and anxiety, I couldn't even move. And my friend was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not okay." And then she just took me into her room and I just like bawled my eyes out. And she's like, "Look, this has been going on for such a long time. You really need to go get help." Because I'm one of those people that I'll be like, "No, just push through it, you'll be okay." But I was just doing that for so long, like years and years, and my anxiety, I would just have to, I just put up with it. And it was really hard for me to socialise and things like that. But and it just, if I didn't start seeing the psychiatrist there and then, it would have been even worse for me because my mum passed away last year. And if I didn't have that support network there, I don't know what I would have done to, go see my psychologist. And because I already had that relationship with my psychologist, so it was a lot easier to talk to her about what happened with my mum and things like that. And, I've just had so much support and gotten, so much better since I've seen the psychologist and just been really open and honest and because my anxiety was quite crippling and it was just awful.
Well, thanks, Margaret. This is Penny here. So thank you so much for sharing a bit of your story. Brave. And you know what I love about your story is that actually you did seek help. And you might say to yourself, "Oh well, I left it too late," but you did, and help is there. And I think I'm assuming you went maybe to your GP first, did you? Is that where you started?
Yeah, you have to get, you can get that care plan, mental health care plan.
Mental health care plan.
Really
you know what, your GP is like, she is a really good friend because they get to see the whole of you and they can refer you to some people who are really, really helpful. So I would applaud you for going there first of all. And obviously you are connected to some friends, which is invaluable.
Yeah. I mean, and I think you're really brave for sharing your story because I'm sure that there's lots of people listening who have really struggled with anxiety. And I genuinely believe there's a bit of an anxiety epidemic going on. Anxiety is so much more talked about these days than it ever has been. And I actually I think it's brave people to share their stories, and I think that's the way we actually overcome together, is actually being open and honest about that.
Absolutely. And not shamed about it.
Just owning it.
It's actually, you know what? It's a human condition in our society right now, rightly or wrongly, and it's okay to say, you know what, I'm really anxious.
Yeah.
I'm really worried. I'm really stressed. It's actually okay.
Yeah. Let's call it and get help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on you, Margaret. Really appreciate you coming on and sharing with us this morning. That's pretty brave, and I love
worries.
I love what you said. A couple of key words there that stuck in my mind. You were just open and honest, and so we really appreciate you joining the conversation this morning. We shall take a break and come back. My guest in the studio this morning is Ken Wimmen, Penny and Karina this morning. Back soon. On 98.5, this is Mornings with Mike. Good morning. My guest in the studio this morning, every Tuesday morning, is Ken Wimmen. Penny and Karina are with me this morning. And good morning and welcome, Alida. Nice to have you on this morning, Alida.
Hi, good morning, Mike.
Yeah, you'd like to share some thoughts on what we've been talking about this morning?
Yes, I'm involved in an organisation, Christians Against Poverty, and I know that you guys had a chat with them in the past, but they about their debt centres. But another thing that we are giving people is also opportunity that we call a job club, where we have an 8-week course and people can come and through the course and one-to-one conversations, we assist people in not only getting their resumes ready, but also getting their goal settings, getting to know themselves, get some more confidence, because I find that a lot of people that is out of work for or out of employment for a long time needs that extra confidence and that self-belief that they can do a job. So it's just do all that for them and assisting them in getting back into employment.
Love it, Alida. Thank you for coming on and sharing that. And hopefully David's still listening. We might give him a call back and give him pass on that information. Just like Gerhard, we're going to connect Gerhard.
There's lots of good support out there for people who've had long-term employment.
If you've been trying to get through on the phones, apologies this morning. The phone has been running hot this morning. Just to quickly get to some text messages, Penny and Karina. We've got a text message here from Shane. Now, Shane's joining the conversation. He's been listening. What I think is very disturbing, says Shane, is the number of psychologists and other mental health professionals rorting the system whilst only doing more damage to those they are claiming to help. What are your thoughts on that text message?
I'm assuming he's actually talking about the charge. And let me just say this. So I'm kind of in this field, so I get it. There are people that do charge big gap fees, but I can tell you there are just as many psychologists out there who do not charge gap fees for people who have health cards and concession cards.
Awesome.
So it's basically bulk billing. So you've got to ask your GP, they will know, get referred to one of those. And they are no less beautiful and amazing. Yeah. So let's just remind ourselves about that.
Thanks, Penny. Thanks, Shane, for your text message. Another text message coming through. I haven't got your name, but thank you. This person says, what if your other half is unwilling due to medical reasons and depression, not seeing he needs help, even though there is support offered from personal and professional, medical, church networks, all those. These people that need help even more often are unable to see they need help. What are your thoughts on that, Karina?
Yeah, look, I think that's a really tough situation to be in, so let's acknowledge that. And I guess without knowing the detail of it, I guess what I'd feel to say is that your husband needs to feel safe, and he needs to feel like you're a trusted space to be in as well. Now, there's absolutely a time for you to, put in expectations, and Penny, you were talking about this in the break, that, that it can't just be all about you giving, there has to be a 50-50, but I also think they need to be able to feel safe to get themselves to that place, and actually trying to force them to get to that place isn't always healthy either, so I think there's a balance in there.
I think it's about keeping up the communication about it, because it's very easy to actually just push it down. Oh, it's too hard. I can't go there. And don't forget that's happening on both. For both partners. But actually, you know what? Keep up the conversation. In a good, safe environment, and maybe at some point there's a friend that they feel comfortable to bring in to talk about it. But don't let it go.
And I definitely agree with that. Don't just bury it in the sand. That's not love. Just forgetting it even exists is not. That's not it.
Because it obviously will impact. It'll impact
absolutely, and let's be honest about that.
And it'll impact the family, and there are ripple effects for all of this, and also the person.
Yeah.
It's great. We'll take a break. Thank you for your text messages and calls this morning. We'll take a break and come back and wrap things up. You are on 98.5. It's Mornings with Mike. 98.5. This is Mornings with Mike. Nice to have your company this morning. Thank you for your calls and also lots of text messages coming through. Karina and Penny, to finish off, some more text messages coming through. This person says about Rock is the home, it's the people at home, it's the wife that functions, becomes a psychologist, the fallback person, but still needs to keep the rest of the household going, including kids to school, sport, and on it goes.
Yeah, we were just talking in the break, about continuing to have those honest conversations and just being real about the fact that you can't actually be everything to one person. Like, that was never the way marriage was intended. And so actually continuing to have an honest conversation with your partner around kind of their contribution as well, and not letting that go.
Yeah, and it's important to, it's like, hey, listen, I'm your lover, I'm your friend, but I'm not your carer and your psychologist.
And you just can't be.
You can't be. And it's okay to say that.
Yeah.
Absolutely okay to say that.
Is that the pressure, do you think? Obviously, that's
well,
the pressure.
Of course, because this lady really cares about her man. Like, I totally get, and I have been in that place, and I think it's really important to be able to say, you know what, this is who I can be for you, and this is who I need you to be for me still, and our family. Yeah, because that's really important too. Yeah. But this is where I think you should go to get help, and in fact it's important.
And actually, just speaking on the other foot, so if you are the person who's currently experiencing depression or whatever it might be, it's your expectations of your wife or husband as well. It's actually not fair to expect them to be everything, because they will disappoint you, because they physically cannot be all those things. And so I think it's our own responsibility to be able to reach out for other people's help. And I think that's really special and important to do.
And there'll be a right time when you might need to say, you know what, things have got to change. You've got to go, because we can't keep this up. And do the royal we. We can't keep this up.
Drawing the line in the sand.
And there's no shame. There's no shame for any of us to actually go and seek help. And there is help.
Indeed. We are out of time. That was a pretty quick hour we raced through there, but really appreciate coming in this morning.
What a
great to be here.
Great conversation.
Indeed. My guests this morning have been kin women. It's been Penny and Karina this morning. Thank you for all of your text messages and calls, and congratulations, Margaret. We're going to give you a movie pass this morning. Now, this is an in-season double pass to see The Heart of Man. It is actually in cinemas for a limited time, June the 26th and 27th. It's the cinematic retelling of The Prodigal Son, intertwined with the true testimonies of personal and sexual brokenness, and that is thanks to station sponsor Heritage Films. So a movie pass coming your way, Margaret. We'll be in touch and how we can get that movie ticket to you. Stick around. Coming up after 10 o'clock this morning, not far away, I have got a family pass for 4 to give away to the carnival this weekend.